If you're taking magnesium and it's not working, you still have cramps, insomnia, fatigue, anxiety. The problem probably isn't magnesium itself. The problem is how you're taking it. A 2025 review published in the International Journal of Vitamin and Nutrition Research estimated that roughly 2.4 billion people worldwide fail to meet the recommended daily magnesium intake. In the United States alone, studies suggest that nearly half of all adults consume less magnesium than their body requires. And the worst part? Most of them don't even know it, because standard blood tests simply can't detect it accurately. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 most common mistakes people make with magnesium, which type is right for each goal, and how to absorb significantly more of this essential mineral. Stay until the end, because mistake number 4 will genuinely surprise you. Before we go any further, this is educational content. Always consult your doctor before making changes to your health routine. What I share here is based on published research, but your doctor knows your individual health picture better than any video ever could. Now I'll bump to you. Before we talk about the mistakes, you need to understand why almost everyone today is running low on magnesium. There are 3 main reasons, and they all connect to how the modern world has changed what we eat and how we live. The first reason is our soil. Over the past several decades, the magnesium content in our fruits, vegetables, and grains has been quietly dropping. A landmark study by Donald Davis and colleagues published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition in 2004 analyzed USDA data on 43 garden crops and found measurable declines in mineral content between 1950 and 1999. Modern farming techniques prioritize yield over nutrient density. Chemical fertilizers replenish nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, but not magnesium. The soil gets depleted, and so does our food. The second reason is food processing. When whole foods are refined and stripped down, the magnesium goes with them. A review published in the journal Nutrients in 2015 by Gruber and colleagues noted that refined grains lose the vast majority of their original magnesium content. White flour, polished rice, and refined sugar retain only a fraction of what the whole food originally contained. If your diet relies heavily on packaged and processed foods, your magnesium intake could be dramatically lower than you think. The third reason is modern life itself. Chronic stress depletes your magnesium reserves. Medications like proton pump inhibitors, certain diuretics, and antacids reduce magnesium absorption. A 2017 paper in Scientifica by Schwalfenberg and Genuis emphasized that drug-nutrient interactions are a significant and underappreciated cause of magnesium depletion. The more stressed and medicated you are, the more magnesium your body burns through, and the less it absorbs. So now let's get into the 5 mistakes, starting with the most common and most serious one. Mistake number 1. Taking the wrong type of magnesium. When you walk into a pharmacy and buy a bottle labeled magnesium, you're most likely getting magnesium oxide. It's the cheapest and most widely available form. But here's what the research shows. A 2001 study by Feroz and Graber, published in Magnesium Research, measured the bioavailability of 4 commercially available magnesium preparations. They found that magnesium oxide had a fractional absorption rate of roughly 4%. That means out of every 100 milligrams you take, your body may only use about 4 milligrams. Magnesium oxide works more as a laxative than as a real supplement. If your only issue is constipation, it might do the job, but for sleep, anxiety, cramps, or blood pressure, it's practically useless. So which type should you actually take? Let me walk you through the main options. Magnesium glycinate, sometimes called bisglycinate, has high absorption and is gentle on the stomach. The amino acid glycine bound to it has its own calming properties. A 2025 randomized controlled trial published in Nature and Science of Sleep found that magnesium bisglycinate supplementation significantly reduced insomnia severity scores compared to placebo in adults with poor sleep quality. This is your best all-around choice for sleep, anxiety, and stress. Magnesium citrate has medium to high absorption and is widely studied. A classic 1990 study in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition by Lindbergh and colleagues demonstrated that magnesium citrate was significantly more soluble and bioavailable than magnesium oxide. It works well for occasional constipation and migraine prevention. Magnesium L-threonate is the form that crosses the blood-brain barrier most effectively. A 2010 study published in the journal Neuron by a team at MIT showed that this specific compound could raise brain magnesium levels in animal models, leading to improvements in learning and memory. More recently, a 2022 double-blind, placebo-controlled human trial published in Nutrients confirmed cognitive benefits in healthy adults after 30 days of supplementation. Magnesium malate is bound to malic acid, which plays a role in the energy production cycle. It's a solid choice if your main concerns are fatigue and muscle pain. If everything I've shared so far resonates with you, I want to tell you about something we put together specifically for people over 50. It's called the Magnesium Fix After 50, and it gives you a clear step-by-step protocol for choosing the right type, the right dose, and the right timing, all in a simple science-backed guide you can start using today. The link is in the description below. I'll leave it there for you. Now, let's keep going because what comes next is the part of this video most people have never been told. Mistake number 2, taking it all at once. A lot of people swallow one large magnesium capsule in the morning and think they're covered for the day. But your body has a limited capacity to absorb magnesium at any given time. When you take a large dose all at once, much of it simply passes through your digestive tract unused. The ideal approach, supported by multiple clinical guidelines, is to split your intake into 2 to 3 smaller doses spread throughout the day. For example, 150 to 200 milligrams at lunch and another 150 to 200 milligrams before bed. This keeps your blood levels more stable and gives your intestines time to absorb each dose properly. Mistake number 3, trusting a standard blood test to tell you your magnesium status. This is the mistake that fools even doctors. You get your blood work back, serum magnesium looks normal, and everyone moves on. But here's the problem. A widely cited review by Costello and colleagues, published in Advances in Nutrition in 2016, pointed out that only about 1% of the body's total magnesium is found in the blood. The other 99% is stored inside your cells, in your bones, and in your muscles. Serum magnesium only reflects what's circulating in your bloodstream at that moment. You could have a perfectly normal serum reading and still be deeply deficient at the cellular level. It's like judging the contents of a warehouse by looking through the front window. The RBC magnesium test is slightly more informative, but even that has significant limitations. The truth is, symptoms are often a better guide than lab results when it comes to magnesium. But here's what almost nobody talks about, and it might be the single most important thing in this entire video. You could be taking the right type of magnesium at the right dose at the right time and still absorb almost nothing. Why? Because of silent saboteurs that are blocking your absorption right now. Let's talk about mistake number 4. Ignoring the things that silently block your magnesium absorption. This is where most people lose the game without even knowing they're playing. The first saboteur is excess calcium. If you take high doses of calcium without balancing it with magnesium, the two minerals compete for absorption, and calcium tends to win. A 2018 review published in the International Journal of Endocrinology by Al-Alawi, Majoni and Falhamer explained that calcium and magnesium share the same transport channels in the intestine. When calcium dominates, magnesium absorption drops significantly. Many nutrition researchers recommend maintaining a calcium to magnesium ratio of no more than 2 to 1, and some suggest 1 to 1 may be even better, especially for adults over 50. The second saboteur is low stomach acid. You need adequate stomach acid to break down and absorb minerals properly. If you regularly take antacids, proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole, or H2 blockers, your stomach acid production is being suppressed, and your magnesium absorption suffers as a result. The 2015 review by Gruber and colleagues in Nutrients specifically highlighted that long-term proton pump inhibitor use is associated with clinically significant magnesium depletion. A simple and well-known tip: taking a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar diluted in a glass of water before meals may help gently acidify the stomach environment and support mineral absorption. Talk to your doctor before doing this if you have any gastrointestinal conditions. The third saboteur is excess phosphorus. Sodas, ultra-processed foods, and many industrial additives are loaded with inorganic phosphates. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown that diets high in phosphorus can interfere with the absorption and retention of both magnesium and calcium. If your diet includes a lot of packaged snacks, fast food, or soft drinks, you may be undermining your magnesium intake without realizing it. And the fourth saboteur is excessive alcohol consumption. Alcohol increases the renal excretion of magnesium, meaning your kidneys flush it out faster than your body can replace it. A paper in Alcohol and Alcoholism noted that even moderate regular drinking can contribute to gradual magnesium depletion over time. This is especially relevant for adults over 50, whose absorption efficiency is already naturally declining. Now, let's get to mistake number 5, relying on the minimum recommended dose. The official recommended daily allowance for magnesium is 420 milligrams per day for men and 320 milligrams per day for women. But those numbers were established as the minimum to prevent severe clinical deficiency, not the optimal amount for your brain, heart, and nervous system to function at their best. A growing body of research suggests that many adults, particularly those over 50, those under chronic stress, and those taking certain medications, may benefit from higher intakes. The Nutrients Journal published a comprehensive review in 2015 by Gruber, Schmidt, and Kisters, noting that therapeutic magnesium doses in clinical studies often range well above the RDA. Many integrative and functional medicine practitioners recommend 400 to 600 milligrams of elemental magnesium per day from well-absorbed forms split into 2 or 3 doses. Of course, and I cannot stress this enough, always work with your healthcare provider before adjusting your supplementation. Now that you know the 5 mistakes, let me give you a practical protocol based on what the published science supports. For general health and well-being, magnesium glycinate is the top recommendation for most people over 50. It has high absorption, it's gentle on the stomach, and the glycine component has additional calming effects that support sleep. A 2017 systematic review in Nutrients by Boyle, Lawton, and Dye found evidence that magnesium supplementation may reduce subjective anxiety, particularly in individuals with low baseline magnesium status. If your primary concern is cognitive function and memory, especially if you're noticing age-related changes, consider adding magnesium L-threonate. The research from MIT, published in Neuron in 2010, remains one of the most compelling demonstrations that this specific form can increase brain magnesium levels in ways other forms cannot. If your main issues are fatigue and muscle pain, magnesium malate is worth trying. Malic acid participates directly in the Krebs cycle, your body's core energy-producing pathway, so this form specifically supports cellular energy production. For your daily timing, aim for 150 to 200 milligrams with lunch, another dose with dinner, and a final dose about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. The nighttime dose is especially valuable. Glycine helps your body relax and prepare for sleep, and magnesium itself supports the regulation of melatonin production. Take your magnesium with food to reduce any digestive discomfort. If possible, include a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar diluted in water before your meal. This supports stomach acidity and improves mineral absorption. And as we discussed, avoid taking magnesium at the same time as calcium supplements. Space them apart by at least 2 hours. Now, supplementation is important, but it doesn't replace real food. The best natural sources of magnesium include pumpkin seeds, which are one of the richest sources available. Spinach and other dark leafy greens are excellent. Dark chocolate above 70% cacao is surprisingly high in magnesium. Avocados, almonds, cashews, and even bananas all contribute meaningful amounts. Since standard blood tests aren't reliable indicators of your true magnesium status, pay close attention to your symptoms. If you frequently experience muscle cramps, insomnia, eyelid twitching, anxiety, elevated blood pressure, or chronic fatigue, there's a good chance your magnesium levels are lower than they should be. Start supplementing with the right form, at the right dose, at the right times, and observe how your body responds over 2 to 4 weeks. Let me leave you with this. Magnesium is a cofactor in more than 300 enzymatic reactions in your body. That's according to the National Institutes of Health, and confirmed by decades of research published in journals like Nutrients Scientifica and the International Journal of Endocrinology. It affects your sleep, your heart rhythm, your muscles, your brain function, your blood pressure, and your energy levels. And as we discussed today, the majority of adults in developed countries are not getting enough, according to a 2017 review in Scientifica. Now you know the 5 most common mistakes, and more importantly, you know how to fix each one. Don't let this information sit. Start today. If this video helped you see magnesium in a completely new way, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and turned on notifications. This channel is all about giving you real science-backed information to help you live well after 50. And there's so much more coming. Share this with someone you care about who takes supplements. They need to hear this. And tell me in the comments, which of these 5 mistakes were you making? I read every single one, and I always learned something from your experiences. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself. You deserve to feel your best. I'll see you in the next one.